Okay, so let's try something a little fancier this time. First of all, I sort of hand drew a little moon here on the glass just to demonstrate something around curves, which are a little bit more difficult and require a little bit more control of your hand, but you will get better at it. First of all, some people do draw a pattern directly on the glass with a Sharpie, and that's fine, you can do that. However, I don't prefer it because these marks tend to wash off in the grinding step. Now you can use a little bit of wax. This is called Mark Stay. It is something that you put over the ink and that helps preserve it in the grinder, but I still find that it flakes off when the glass gets real wet. So I don't prefer to do marks directly on the glass. I love the paper pattern because you can reposition it if they break. You just put your pattern aside, get your glue again, and put it on another piece of glass. And then you can grind with it staying primarily in place as well. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut now that is going to take this inner part away. Now, glass tends to want to break in a straight line. It doesn't really want to do anything insane in terms of deep inside curves. So what you need to do is sort of a sneak attack. First, I'm going to take a smallish half circle away, not all the way to my pattern. And remember, you're letting up on the pressure as you get to the edge. Okay, now I'm going to take another bite, and it's going to go a little deeper, and maybe I'll do it just from there to there. And again, easing up on the pressure when you get to the edge. This time I'm going to grab my glass grozers so I can just take that little bit out. Okay. More oil. Okay, so what I've done is I've pretty much taken that half bit away that I wanted. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the exterior part out. But first, I've got to clean my workspace. You see these little bits of glass here? If I put my glass down on that and I'm using pressure, I'm going to destroy my piece. So you have to make sure you have no glass on the surface after you've made some cuts. So just get used to this. Take your newspaper, bring it up and put it back down again so that your little bits are coming to the back of the paper and they're not on your direct work surface. Of course, if you're cutting a real big piece, you need to make sure every single bit is gone and away. Okay, so a few more cuts. Now, this gets to be pretty round, this piece here. So, again, same notion. The glass does not want to cut in real extreme ways. So I'm going to take my first cut from about here and just do an easy circle off to about there. Okay. No band-aids needed yet. Good. Now, this gets to be a little skinnier. See how I'm taking off a piece that's bigger on this side than it is on this side. I might want to be really careful here because this is a good place to break your glass and start over. In fact, I'm going to come out a little bit, so I'm really splitting the difference, and I'll make another cut to get the rest off. You'll find when you get real close to the edge that you'll start making chips, and that means you're pretty much out of surface for cutting. And that's exactly where I thought it might end up. Okay, so I've got a little piece more to work on there. Okay, I've got a score there. Might as well keep scoring. So I have a rough half moon shape. Now I also have some little bits here and a little bit here that I might want to take off. But at this point you need to ask yourself, now should I tinker with it or should I leave that for the grinder to take off? Well, I'm going to tinker with it just to show you the function of these, the grosures. These are basically here to take little bits off to save you grinder work. Now it does create lots of little crumbs of glass, but it basically nibbles right down. You just nibble it down to the pattern piece you want, and try not to get too overzealous or too rough with it, because this is a great opportunity to break your piece when it's so close to being finished. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. This looks real sharp here. I'm going to try and nibble that off a little bit. And you're real gentle with this thing. If you were to kind of use it on your own skin, you wouldn't be hurting yourself, okay? You're really just using it to leverage off those little bits on the edge of the glass.